Walter Wonkite. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
Wash our hands often to our elbows. These are the things we know. We know. If people want to wear a mask, that is okay. These are the things we know. That prevents you from speaking moistly. Speaking moistly. Keep 2 meters apart. Speaking moistly. Speaking moistly. Keep 2 meters apart. Speaking moistly. I am not a medical expert. These are the things we know. Keep 2 meters apart. What I have heard from medical experts. These are the things we know that prevents you from speaking moistly. Speaking moistly. Keep 2 meters apart. 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 Speaking moistly. Oh, what a terrible image.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
And yes, it is, and we caught Marcel singing.
Hey, this is Cheat
Radio. Oh, that should stop. So, hi, how are you?
Oh, no, it's how high are you?
So, anybody who hadn't heard that before, that was Mr. Trudeau's little thing that somebody put together because he decided to say speaking moistly.
He used that word.
So, we're going to sit here and spit on our microphones and stuff. And
we are going to moistly speak to you this evening.
Speak with you tonight.
You know, every time I hear that disclaimer, I can pretty much say that my opinions moistly go with my organization since I own it. At least one of my organizations.
Yeah. Moistly.
Moistly.
He actually, if you watch the video, I don't know if anybody's seen the video. It is on my wall. He actually cringes.
Yeah. Oh, as soon as he said it.
When he says it, he's like speaking moistly. Ugh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
He said that. He said that's a gross, or he said that's a bad picture.
At the very end, yeah.
Yeah, he knew he screwed up with that word as soon as he came out of his mouth.
Did he not read it before he was,
I don't know. That writer would be fired.
You know what? But in all
the dictator.
In all seriousness, this has added some humor into a very bad thing, which is kind of cool. And he's being a good sport about it because this thing's gone viral.
Hey, that's the same as Stay the Blazes home.
You know what? I have that here somewhere too.
Yeah, but it's not Stay the Blazes home. It's Stay Home and Blaze.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought it should be.
That's the right way to put it.
Exactly.
So, anyways, this is the 420 Radio Show. We're live here at 420radio.ca. Come on in our chat room, or what we call the Listener's Lounge now. Just click the little arrow or the banner or whatever you want. If you're having trouble hearing the station today, just come on in and click on the little speaker, and it'll start up for you.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier, Darcy.
No, my camera.
Just to let people know that our chat room is basically social distancing at its best.
Well, except for no video. Although I can't see Darcy because I don't know why I can't see Darcy today.
I can see you
got
just
another
fine.
window open.
I don't
And
have.
it's
Yeah,
covering it.
I have too many windows. That's what it is.
There's
Darcy.
I can see you.
Hello, Darcy.
Hiya.
We'll put you over.
I can see Darcy when I go to Skype.
Yeah.
Then I don't go to Skype. I just see you because you don't stop talking.
You know the difference between Hangout and Skype, as far as this stuff goes, is on Hangouts when you talk, it shows the person who's talking, or the icon of the
I think
person.
Zoom does that too. I think.
Yeah, and I think that we might even play with Zoom a little bit. I don't know.
But if you minimize or open another window in my Skype, I get a small pop-up window.
Yes.
That pops up in the corner. That shows me whoever's predominantly talking, or the last one that was predominantly talking, such as you. Right? So the only video I see now is you, but if Darcy starts talking, then that'll change to Darcy up there.
Ah.
Yeah.
That was a cue for Darcy, but of course Darcy doesn't.
Darcy?
What's that?
What are you smoking?
I'm rolling up some White Castle.
I don't know what that one is.
It's a really nice. It's a nice sativa. Lenny would like it.
You might have to leave something on your doorstep tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Yeah, not a problem.
You gonna do a drive-by?
Yeah.
You should leave some Durban poison on the doorstep.
That's actually what he was going to give me, but I might have to try to wait. Durban poison's why I'm really going.
I really like that. I've had that. I've had that a couple of times. It's really nice. I think Marcel has sent me some of that, or Darcy has.
I sent you some.
This batch of Durban I did inside turned out really, really, really amazing. Actually, I'm really impressed with this grow.
I might have to hang up and go over there right now.
Yeah, I'll see Lenny on my break.
That's not social distancing, guys.
If you leave
it on the step.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Mailbox.
I had supper delivered tonight, and that's what they did. They dropped it off on my doorstep.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
They ring the bell to let you know it was there.
We were watching. They called and let us know they were coming.
So you paid for it online, or you paid for it when you ordered?
Yep.
Did you tip them?
No, because I was paying like $80 for my family meal tonight. That's good enough.
It's called Uber Eats, dude, and we have it here as well.
No, this is the owner of the restaurant.
But I was just reading this recently here, that the ones that are working more so in the States, because in the States they don't have to pay minimum wage if they're in a high tip industry, such as delivery drivers. So these guys are making $3.75 an hour, $3.25 an hour, working, relying on tips. But because everybody's ordering online or by phone and prepaying it, they're just putting zero in for the tip. So these guys aren't getting the tips; they're actually starting to starve to death.
If it was just a pizza driver, a young guy or something like that, yeah, we would have tipped.
And he was coming to your door.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
you meet
also,
him at the door, you kind of feel guilted into giving them a tip.
Yeah, but the way these restaurants, and well, at least most of them are in our town, is you're ordering the day before. It's not like just pick up and order like a pizza.
Yeah.
Like they're taking pre-orders, so it's
they are.
Who's you order from?
Basically, I do Nook and Cranny, trying to help them out.
Right on.
So what do you? I see our drink shop is closed up, Lenny.
Drink shop.
Booster Juice.
Yeah,
that closed before this.
It was going to happen anyway, unfortunately.
A lot. Your birds are loud today, buddy.
It's because they're uncovered. I'm going to cover them up here once I get this filter in this joint.
Are you going to use a garbage bag again?
No. And that was a cat, Marcel.
No, my wife and I, like, I'll be honest, like, we're still working, so we're trying to eat out a little bit more frequently and order from a couple of the small businesses in town if they're selling. So
there's a few restaurants in the area that are doing curbside now, and
yeah, that's what most of them are doing.
Yeah,
curbside or delivery.
Yeah, just like the pot shops.
Yeah, thank God. I'm going to blame that whole pot shop. It was we were bitching last week, and they listened.
Oh, it's all your fault.
No, we saved it.
Pot shops have to stay open. They're an essential business now.
Oh yeah, dummy. See, this is how forgetful I am.
That's COVID. It's coronavirus cough.
No, it's not.
I can tell a weed cough. That's a weed cough.
Damn right. Damn Skippy Pippy.
Yeah, I have them pretty much daily lately.
That's a corona. That's a chemo cough, is what it is.
Darcy killed his video feeds. Now all I have is your coughing face to look at. Well, that's pretty. Oh, it smells funky.
It's nice, eh?
His cough?
No, he's showing us the bud. You're obviously not watching the video.
No, my phone just sits beside me. I have my TV like flipped through trying to find something to watch.
What kind of phone are you using for all the hackers who are listening?
It's an iPhone. I think it's an 8 Plus. I think
I have an SE and I like it. I don't.
I'm due for an upgrade.
I don't want to upgrade mine. That's the thing. Mine has both plugs. It works fine, but they're slowing stuff down, right? So
it's my battery. I think I don't know how they do it.
I read an article about it. It what it is the different apps cause more battery use, some more than others, and so what they do is they'll slow down certain apps so that your phone. So you need to upgrade, but they've already been slapped in the PP for it, so they're not allowed to do
that. My phone speed's good. My battery drains shit.
But that was
it only will charge up to 80% now.
That was their reasoning for it. It was to help people with older phones maintain their phone.
Yeah.
If they slow you down, then everything runs better. But the thing is they're physically going into your phone, into the settings, and slowing it down. And I'm sorry, but that's an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said, fuck you, Apple. I'm just carrying a pocket juice with me all the time.
You have a stick with you as well?
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah.
Well, I use them when we go out and do remote stuff, and I'll take 2 or 3 with me.
And I do that too, yeah.
They will charge my phone from a dead start, and I can use it for the full charge and then get a full charge out of that.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're looking at a whole day worth if you've got 3 of them.
I got like 4 of them here because when I travel, like sometimes, like I've had the unfortunate circumstance of being stuck in an airport for a fucking day or 2.
Yeah, and they don't always have the plugs available.
Yeah.
But, the ones that I've been using, I have a couple of good ones that I've gotten as here, have one of these from a company. But the ones that I usually use when I'm out and about are dollar store ones, and they work great.
I have the original Mophie, and I got the Costco pocket juice.
What'd you call me?
Pocket juice ones are the best.
Are they?
I
think pizza? Is that a pizza?
No, that's what I got.
Oh, it's his tray. Never mind. I thought it was pizza.
Look at all the weed out. Look at all the Durban now.
Oh, dude. You need to send me some, too. You can't stick a bag of fucking weed in somebody's face like that, Darcy. That's just rude.
Hey, Marcel, them foxtails.
I need to move to Nova Scotia.
No, I don't have to. I don't have to. You just touch them and they pull right out.
Yeah.
What, the stem?
No.
So my plants were ready to cut, And I said, I'll do them tomorrow morning. That night, I opened my window up to drop the temperature to try to bring out a little color in that Durban. Well, what it did is it brought up the color, but it also sprouted up fucking 5-inch tall foxtails overnight.
What's a foxtail?
A foxtail is a piece. I should call it a piece of bud. It's a segment of bud that grows on your bud when your plants are stressed out, and it could be from multiple things. Heat. It can be from cold. It can be from nutrients. It can be almost from anything.
Okay.
So basically, what it is your bud starts to form, or your bud is already formed, and then all of a sudden it decides it wants to grow a shoot of new buds off of that bud.
With a lot of people fucks them right up because they think their bud's ready, and then all of a sudden they see all these new fresh white hairs all over their plant. They're like, what the fuck?
And ideally, you'd still harvest at the regular time, and you just cut those off.
Cut them off.
Throw them into the compost.
Cool.
Yeah,
Why
right.
into the compost?
That's the extract bin. No, in for extracts.
Well,
so is that, and that's caused by them continuing to grow for a little bit? Yes.
No, it's caused by stress.
But they're still growing at that point, so they're still.
Yeah,
they're always growing. They're always growing right until you cut them down.
I know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but the flowers will eventually die.
Yes. Just like
if you
roses.
keep the plant growing. Exactly.
Well, that was a
get underneath there.
That was a bundle of information.
Yeah.
So there's a little bird for part of my growth segment tonight.
Too late. You already did it.
That's what I'm saying. That's just one little bird.
We can't talk about that now. We have to talk about something different.
Okay. It's on this shoot.
We're not doing it now anyway, so shh.
So this Carol Baskin thing is really fucking taking on a new meaning of the word weird.
Well, like Joe Exotic's not weird?
Well, that's what I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, what's weird? I'll tell you the weird thing, Al.
No, I'll tell you what's weird, man.
No, I'll tell you what's weird. And it's not weird, it's actually the truth. Is go to cuethefall.com.
What was that?
18 minutes.
And what is it?
Marcel, explain it.
Cue the Fall is a website that has a documentary that's 10 parts long. Each part's about 15 minutes long. It's really educational viewing to kind of open your eyes of things that are going on around the world today, right behind your eyes.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
All right. But it's on its own website, cuethefall.com. If every time they put this on the YouTube, it gets pulled.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why they've done their own website.
Yeah.
Very educational, very eye-opening, somewhat kind of scary.
Give me an example of something.
Give you an example of something. Have you ever heard of a product called adrenochrome?
Adrenochrome?
Yep.
No.
It's a drug.
It comes from tell me where it comes from, Marcel.
And it comes from adrenaline. And there's actually a patent for this drug.
But where do they get it?
Well, I don't want to say. It comes from adrenaline.
Yeah.
So you can get adrenaline from any animal. All right? But in the movie, you realize that these people prefer a certain type of adrenaline.
What kind of animal, for fuck's sakes?
Maybe it's not an animal.
Oh, so it's a human.
Well, human's an animal.
Well, so they're farming adrenaline from people and then putting it on the market, is what you're saying.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. But, yeah, go take a look.
Yeah, just take a look.
No, thank you.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody because people got to see it for themselves and then they got to make up their mind. And it's like it says in the documentary. Some of the stuff you may hear may be shocking you, and you don't want to believe it. But that's because of a certain disorder that is caused when you don't want to believe the truth.
It's called cognitive dissonance.
So post a link in the chat room and on our in our thingy there, buddy, and I'll share it.
It's a pretty easy link. cuethefall.com. thefall.com.
So,
want to know an interesting
the
story?
link
about
in the
adrenals?
chat room. What, sorry?
The scientist that did most of the research on the adrenal gland and stress was a Canadian scientist, Hans Sele. And basically what he used to do is torture and stress animals and kill them and measure their adrenal gland.
Because, well, if you're going to extract adrenaline, that's the best time to do it.
That's how most of the research of the adrenal gland is him.
Mm.
The shit he did would never be allowed today.
Oh, no.
But he was Canadian.
But it's still being done.
There, I posted a link on my wall and on our show wall.
Was he Canadian? I think he was.
Why am I hearing an echo today? Oh, that must be your phone. Can you turn your volume down a little bit, Lenny?
Is that better? Now, I was also moving my phone when I was speaking.
Oh, okay.
I don't hear an echo.
I don't now. I don't now. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, he was Canadian, by the way. I'm right.
Well, I'm posting it on our wall. If anybody who's listening wants to have a boo, feel free.
But have an open mind. If you don't believe something, go and look it up.
And, I mean, this whole thing that we're going through requires an open mind. There are several different views, you could say, several different reasonings, several different ways to think about things, and it's causing a lot of arguments these days, and it really fucking sucks. Are you
just talking this pandemic?
The general mood of people.
But this has been going on long before this pandemic.
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying in general, the mood of people is weird.
It's a shift. I wrote about this years ago that there'd be a paradigm shift, and people are going to basically not be the same as they ever were.
And
even it's all said and done.
Even Stephen King said some stuff about it. So
yeah,
he apologized. It's not one of his books or something.
Yeah, we've all known this is coming. But
this is basically the movie The 12 Monkeys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck Contagion.
No. But it's more. There's more going on than just this COVID stuff.
There's an election coming up in November that nobody's talking about right now that usually people would be talking about.
Oh, this is the rope-a-dope, baby.
Yeah, they tried here and about an American election. I mean, they tried everything they could to get rid of Trump, and that didn't work. And
the Democrats fucked up putting in Biden anyway, so they just gave it to Trump anyway.
Yeah.
That's over.
But no, you can't go further, Darcy, because then you're going to start giving away too much from the video.
I know. People need to go watch it.
If everybody watched it, then it would be easier for everybody to understand. But let's just say, here's the thing: it's what everybody's touted as being conspiracy theories for years, and I was thinking recently, because I had to explain it to somebody, that the easiest way to explain this whole conspiracy theory thing is, quite some time ago, there was a young politician coming into power that everybody adored and thought he was great. And there, of course, were the conspiracy theorists that kept claiming that, no, this guy is not a good guy. He's a bad, evil guy. You guys are backing the wrong guy. But everyone blew them off as just being conspiracy theorists. Then the guy went so far to become so popular that he was Time's Man of the Year, right, for Time magazine. Meanwhile, the conspiracy theorists kept saying, don't trust him, it's not what you think. And, of course, they were ignored.
Was Hitler?
It was Mr. Hitler. Mr. Hitler, first thing he did is he rounded up all the conspiracy theorists as dissidents and executed or put them into concentration camps because he didn't want anybody to know the truth. So the next time you call somebody a conspiracy theorist, when it was done before, there was always a backing of truth to that conspiracy.
Who's squeaking?
That was my chair. I moved.
I knew that.
No, but what I was getting at is like or not Trudeau, like or not Trump, both have made some pretty big fuck ups before the pandemic. People are sheep.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to forget all that. And anyway,
Hey, look, we live in Nova Scotia. There's nobody in this province likes what our premier is doing. Until recently, our premier did the right thing by closing parks and stuff. Now he's a hero. Everybody
I disagree with
all
that
the
one.
shit.
I
no.
actually disagree with closing the parks.
Oh, I do too. But if you
social distancing in the park, yes.
Yeah. Closing them is going a little overboard. But the reason they closed them is because people wouldn't social distance in the park. And it was mostly on the beach.
Yeah, and you can go fucking, if you're within the 2 meters, go fucking ticket them or whatever the fuck you want to do. But whatever, that's just me.
They're ticketing fucking homeless people, for fuck's sakes.
That's just stupid.
Yeah, because they know they're going to get that money.
You know what? If I got a ticket for an offense to do with social distancing, I'd be like, yeah, okay, come and get me. Fuck you. Seriously, that is so fucking ridiculous. I understand the why, but to actually inflict a financial burden on somebody who's maybe not thinking right, maybe not believing, maybe not wanting, like, fine, put a fucking ankle bracelet and throw them in the house. But you can't put a financial burden on people where this is causing so much financial burden.
Listen, if they put up a sign, the park's closed, and you cross the sign, you're a dumbass. You're going to get a fine.
Just like if you're driving down the road in a fucking snowstorm, the minute that road has been closed by the RCMP or the MOT, you're fucking done for insurance. You do not have insurance. The minute you go down that road, you're taking that chance.
Yep. But I don't know. Some of it's a little insane, but it is what it is.
That's what I mean. Like, it is what it is. You don't have to conform, but we have to live together. We have to do what's necessary, wrong or right, believe it or not. This is going on, although every morning I wake up and go, oh, is this dream over yet? It's not.
I'm more curious what happens in the future. Like, does next flu season come around? Oh, we better social distance for 3. Is this going to be a fucking trend?
From what I'm listening to,
I don't have a problem with that because I don't like people to begin with.
From the stuff that I'm listening to, that's what's going to happen. Yes, that's what the doctors are saying.
Every February, we got a little bit of a fucking flu bug going out there. We better shut her down.
Yep.
Some
people are saying this is going to go on 2 years or more.
No, I mean, this has got nothing to do with COVID. I'm just saying it now. Is everyone going to be jump happy? We look at snow. You get a fucking skip of snow. Oh my god, we better shut the schools down now, right? Is that the way the world's going to be? Oh, there's a bad cold out there. We better fucking shut shit down. So that's my concern.
Yeah,
Lenny,
and what my taxes are going to be when this is over.
Lenny,
pups are taking over the world.
Watch that documentary, and that'll answer your 2 questions.
Okay.
Not to say that you'll believe what you're watching, but watch that documentary and it may answer your 2 questions.
In order to learn what's really going on, you have to involve yourself in a little bit of everything so that you can get all the information and then make your own qualified decision. Right? Isn't that how the world is supposed to work? You learn,
right. But here's the problem: we've been force-fed through propaganda,
brainwashed.
Yeah. For hundreds of years, to always trust your government, listen to the media because they're the ones that are going to tell you the truth. But what if their plan the whole time was to lie to you?
I don't really know if they're all planning to lie to you. I just think they're in their own little world and don't know the full story. That's my I don't believe there's some fucking puppet masters out there doing
Oh,
this.
no.
Like I don't
believe
think it's
that.
anything like that one. But I'm going to tell you, most conventional doctors don't know everything, including the ones that are leading your countries or whatever. They're a doctor that got a fucking job.
Now you see,
I'm an expert.
And then you've got countries like Sweden who aren't having anything to do with it. They're not doing lockdown. They're going about life, and they're okay.
They are still practicing social distancing, though.
Yes, but they are not doing
a little
lockdown.
bit
To a point, but it's not being enforced. They're not being fined for not doing it.
And what I don't have any statistics in front of me, but I'm sure somebody can look them up. What the statistics are like in Sweden and other
It'll
countries.
be interesting where it plays out. I have a feeling they're not going to end up being that much different than the rest of us. But their economy's not going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I actually like, you know what? Good on Sweden. Like, don't be a sheep. Do what you think's right. Let's see if you're right or wrong.
Yeah, it's a good testing ground, isn't it?
It'll be really interesting.
But what have other countries, like, has India done a lockdown?
Most have done lockdowns.
I don't know. Let's do some Googling.
I don't know. It's boring.
Yeah. You know what? I don't even want to look it up.
No. But like, let's see where it all plays out in the end.
It's always about the end, isn't it?
Yeah. Like nobody knows.
That's why there's so much toilet paper being used, because it's always about the end.
Yeah. Like, we're all talking out of our asses too, just like everybody else on TV is. So.
Yeah, but we don't have a sponsorship budget though. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi.
She goes, hi, Al.
I can hear her. She did not say Al. She just said hi.
Oh, sorry.
He lied.
I edit that in.
Darcy lied to me. He edited it, and I could hear it. That's
See,
false,
I'm just like the
false information.
I was just showing you how I was being like the mainstream media.
I was just going to say that's false information. You have stuff written on the other side of that, you know.
No, it's my old wedding invitations.
You're using them to roll. You use your old wedding invitations to roll up your doobies.
What's new in the cannabis space?
What?
Companies are filing for bankrupt protection. Companies are going bankrupt. Some are laying off, doing massive layoffs. And some are working their asses off.
Wasn't there some article, someone's claiming cannabis bad for COVID?
Oh, yes. That's CNN.
Oh, yeah?
Because,
find out what the reference is?
CNN would never lie. Well, smoking weed and coronavirus, even occasional use, raises risk of COVID-19 complications.
And their evidence for that comes from...
Well, what happens to your airways when you smoke cannabis is that it causes some degree of inflammation, very similar to bronchitis, very, very similar to the type of inflammation that cigarette smoking can cause, said pulmonologist Dr. Albert Rizzo, Chief Medical Officer for the American Lung Association. Now you have some airway inflammation and you get an infection on top of it. So yes, your chance of getting more complications is there. So he's saying that when you smoke cannabis, your lungs are getting inflamed, therefore you're more susceptible to having complications from COVID-19. I call total and utter bullshit.
Well, I would say that's a potential theory, but you don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
Because there's also an anti-inflammatory aspect to that said cannabis that maybe it does help. But I can't say that's true yet either. I'm saying no one really fucking knows, and you shouldn't make such statements.
And this is why I love having you on the show, Lenny.
So here it is. So this is from a Dr. Mitchell Glass, and he's a spokesman for the American Lung Association and a pulmonologist. COVID-19 is a pulmonary disease, said Glass said. Do you really want to have a confounding variable if you need to see a doctor or healthcare worker by saying, oh, and by the way, I'm not a regular user of cannabis, but I decided to use cannabis to calm myself down? You don't want to do anything that's going to confound the ability of healthcare workers to make a rapid, accurate assessment of what's going on with you, he added. Well, ideally, you would swab the back of the throat and send it for tests to see if it's coronavirus or was the guy just smoking some poorly flushed pot.
I am not going to say that obviously chronic smoking of cannabis. Can there be a risk of lung damage? No question.
They're not saying chronic. They're saying just
no, exactly. What I was about to say is we've all here smoked cannabis. I know when my lungs are fucking tight from a fucking cold versus me having to cough because I just smoked a joint.
Yep.
I can tell the difference. I'm sorry, guys.
Yes, you can tell the difference.
I find in the morning when I wake up, I'm refilled in. And I can bear, my nose is stuffy and everything, but
my nose is stuffy in the morning after smoking weed. It's the terpenes.
Yeah, but if I go outside and have smoke 2 or 3 puffs out of my bong or half a joint, yes, I'll cough. But after I cough, can I ever breathe?
Oh, I know. I actually, I wake up in the morning and I smoke a joint and I start coughing my ass off. I clear everything out and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Although my neighbors must think I'm fucking sicker than a mutt.
But I'm not going to pretend that us inhaling fucking anything is good for our lungs. That's not what I'm trying to say. But that guy can't say that it's going to make it worse for COVID-19. That's just fear mongering.
When my doctor signed my first MMAR. One of the stipulations was no smoking, and I said, why? He said, because you smoke anything, you're going to get sick or cancer, period. That's just a cut and dry. That's what he said to me.
That's just lack of education and
yes,
lack of misinformation.
Yes, it is. But
not even all cigarette smokers get cancer, so that's even bullshit statements.
But what he was getting at is he didn't want me smoking it. He wanted me eating it or vaping it.
I think chronically that's great advice.
I think so too. I'm not going to argue with that. I would rather everybody ate it than smoked it.
For chronic disease, 100%.
Yeah, for a chronic condition, definitely.
But you're a smoker too, Marcel, and 60% of the whole smoking, be it weed or tobacco or anything really, 60% of it is the whole action of smoking. That whole putting it to your lips, taking a draw, going, right? And that is 60% of the addiction of quitting. Anyways, cigarettes.
Yeah, but that's not my addiction. I eat way more cannabis than I smoke in a day. But I eat it because that helps with the physical side of this MS. I smoke it to be able to put up with people like you.
Yeah, fuck you too, buddy.
No, smoking it for me allows me for the mental side more than anything.
Yes, I'd agree.
Now, and I said this on the show before, I probably, until COVID-19's put my smoking up a bit, but I was probably smoking probably 1 to 2 times a week. Yeah, that was my cannabis use because I am conscious of my lungs. That's just me, personal choice.
I know when I have an overabundance of it and I'm constantly smoking, as opposed to when I just have a little bit and I'm watching what I'm smoking, I don't cough up as much crap. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Occasional use, but the reason I enjoy smoking it is it's quicker. Mm-hmm. It does not last as long. It's the situation when I choose to do it. So that's why I say that, like, smoking and eating cannabis are 2 totally different experiences, in my opinion, or at least for me. So I choose which one I do when I do it, and that's basically the response I'm going for. So it is really individualized, but I think you guys would agree there's a difference between smoking and eating.
Oh, definitely.
So when I choose to smoke it, it's just like, you know what? It's late at night. I didn't have time to eat anything. I got to get up in the morning. I don't want to be too tired. But also, if I'm going to a party, the smoking feeling of cannabis is a little bit more social for me versus eating it. I'm a little bit more couch locked and sedated.
Yeah, I don't like being couch locked at all. It's that same feeling I get when I'm depressed. Do you get that?
Yeah, that's why I usually only eat around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, knowing that I'm going to chill out, veg out, and eventually pass out and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's when I eat it. Like, I won't eat it and go to a party.
Oh, I will. I did a gram. Kelly and I went to, I can't remember what it was. And we both did a gram of shatter. And that was an enjoyable evening.
Well,
I know what it was. It was the Culture Club, Boy George and Culture Club. It was fucking awesome.
Do you really want to hurt me?
Yep, that's the one.
Well, even like me, Marcel, and Derek, like when we went to Lyft, I usually do increase my smoking consumption when I go to the Lyft conference. And I didn't have an edible the whole time I was there, but I smoked all week.
I did.
We smoked quite a bit before we went, if I remember correctly. And then the edibles, what did you give me? The peanut brittle or whatever? That kept me walking around.
Yeah. But I can smoke and function, like when I was at the conference, but I if I had an edible, I'd be out.
Would you?
Yeah.
What about a pop?
A pop?
You mean a pop?
A pop.
What, you mean those ones
Canada
with
pops?
105 milligram THC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since there'd be none, it'd be the sugar in to keep them awake. That'd work.
Monster Energy and cannabis. There you go. There's an idea.
Yes.
Bull,
I have this
sperm,
thing about
and cannabis.
I have this thing about adding medicine to poison that I don't do it.
Every time I see somebody drinking one of those things, I want to slap it the fuck out of their head.
I throw up a little bit in my mouth.
All right. On that note, Lenny wanted to hear some John Prine. I've got.
I wanted to hear some Joe Exotic, and I got vetoed. So.
Well, no. I mean, it's only 7:45. Hello. All right, we'll be right back.
If that's him singing, he's got a good voice.
He does. He actually does have a good voice.
He's actually been. His videos used to be played on MTV, if I remember correctly.
Good way, really?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
He's Joe Exotic, country singer.
Yeah. All right. This is John Prine. That's the way the world goes round. And this is the 420 Radio Show. Come on and hang out and bake with us. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Ooh.
I got glue on my string. That's the way that the world goes round.
I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused, got muscles in his head, ain't never been used, thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose, then he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch wider and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. I was sitting in the bathtub, counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window. The ice all broke, I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. One day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes round.
We are back. This is the 420 radio show. That was John Prine. And, yeah, I just got a note from my dentist that I have an appointment on Monday now.
Emergency appointment?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, because I thought they were all shut down.
Yes.
He's been waiting a week.
I've been waiting since Wednesday, buddy, and I've been talking to them on text. I don't even know if these people really exist. I'll find out on Monday at 2.
Okay. No, just curious.
That's my sister's dentist, so yeah, it'd be all good. So we wanted to make sure that we brought up the loss of Charlotte this couple days ago now.
Yeah.
You want to explain who she is and why she was so important to the community, Marcel?
Well, no, Charlotte Figge was the little girl in the U.S. that they actually come out with the high CBD strain Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, the Stanley brothers, yeah.
It was the CNN. She was the young girl on the CNN show.
I'm hearing a lot of
feedback.
Echo. Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
I'm blaming Darcy.
I'm blaming Darcy,
Al,
too.
I didn't
I'm
do
blaming
anything.
Darcy because he's not sitting there.
Yeah, it's Darcy.
Okay.
Darcy wheeled away, so it's him.
He's put his. What he's done is he's put the headset down, and then we can still hear it.
Oh
no, the headset's on my head.
See, I knew he was there. He was just faking.
I'm outdoors.
Anyway, somebody's echoing. It doesn't matter. Go on with your story, please.
Camera's looking at the kitchen. That's why. Should take the camera with him outdoors. Could have seen what it was doing out.
Charlotte.
So Charlotte passed away.
Yesterday, 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. But
at 14 years old.
Yeah, at 14, and this started when she was 7, wasn't it?
Yes, we've been following her a long time.
Yeah. So it's a sad day for Charlotte, but was that COVID-related death?
They said on the news it was, but regardless, a young girl like that dying for whatever reason is tragic.
It is.
Be it COVID or not COVID or whatever, it's horrible. But no, I think.
And they had sent her home. It said in the post they had sent her home, and then overnight she got real sick again. She was seizing the whole time. They took her back, and she didn't recover.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate. Yeah. And
so
that's the problem is could have been seizure related as well.
This is the girl who was in the CNN
Yes, with
stories
Gupta, right?
with Dr. Gupta. And he spent a lot of time with them, I believe, in the making of his documentary that he did for CNN. Yeah, what was that called? Weed.
I can't even remember what it was. A two-part series.
It was called Weed.
It was called Weed.
Yeah, it's on YouTube all the time. You can watch it. I think it's an hour an episode.
Yep. I post it now and then when I see it being thrown about. It was good, and a lot. It was the first time a mainstream entity like that, with somebody like Sanjay Gupta at the spearhead of that. So.
I'll say it, in my opinion, like when cannabis goes federally legal in the U.S., even its change in Canada, Charlotte and Gupta are big reasons for that to happen.
I'd have to agree with that. Yes. Yeah. And it's still sad though. When you follow, I have been not involved with, but chatting with the mother of a young man, James. I bring it up now and then, who has similar epilepsy, but not Dravet, but just as bad. And he's also got CP. He's bedridden, and it's just every time I see something, he's back in the hospital or whatever. You just kind of, Jesus, So I'm hearing that echo again. I am. Marcel has not said anything for 31 seconds.
The only one I've heard echoing is you.
I'm not echoing, though. I'm sitting here doing what I normally do. Nothing.
I just heard the echo from you, Al.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks, man. We're here.
Yeah, especially when you're blaming all of us. You're the only one echoing.
Everybody. We'll turn myself down here.
Blame what you want.
There we go. All right. How's that? Is that better?
It's like a little after, like it's an effect. It's weird.
it is most likely Skype, to be honest with you.
It's reverb.
Yeah.
He's got reverb set on there, so he sounds cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Very sad day the other day, and
yes.
I hope that the research that has been done because of this little girl will.
I'll say it. CBD is a giant phenomenon because of her.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Her story brought it to the limelight.
Well,
exactly. Hold on a minute. I should say the Stanley brothers used her story to bring their product to the limelight, which then went and took a life on of its own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But,
And they've been knocked off ever since.
Well, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, people like reverse engineering for a reason, right?
Hey, there was only one iPhone when it all started.
Which one was it?
The iPhone.
Yeah, was it just the iPhone?
The first
was that the first smartphone an iPhone?
The first smartphone
BlackBerry
was
had a little shitty version.
Yes, they did, but the first smartphone was Apple.
It really was Apple.
Shit. I googled India.
And
India is on lockdown. Yeah, it's on lockdown. They had a 21-day mandatory, the entire population.
And what about Sweden? Did you look up Sweden?
Sweden's got nothing.
Nothing.
Just.
But have they had any infected people?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to move.
None of it is still the only place in Canada that has 0 cases.
Who
is? Oh, none of it.
None of it.
Well, they're not allowing people in and out.
Exactly.
Well, they're going to do all right then.
Now that's an island, correct? Or it's just not accessible by land.
Not accessible.
Unless you have some kind of a plane.
The very first smartphone was created in 1992. but it wasn't really called a smartphone until 1995. And it was called the Simon Personal Communicator, and it was created by IBM more than 15 years before Apple released the iPhone.
There was also...
Well, there's a documentary out there of these guys. It was like the there's a whole thing about the guys that created the iPhone. They almost had this thing built like 10 years prior.
Yeah.
And they went bankrupt, and they all ended up working for Apple and brought it out there.
And that's probably what it is. That's where the first smartphone was the Simon's Personal Communicator.
Yeah.
They also, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Rogers had their own first smartphone called the V-Box, and it was the first flip phone that had a QWERTY keyboard on it. And it was a little tiny thing about the size, a little bit bigger than a pager. I have one still somewhere.
Yeah, but if you look at every phone right now, it is all the original Apple phone. They really haven't changed that much. It's all just a little bigger, a little prettier.
I like the size of the SE. It's the size of the 5 and the 4 and the 3. I like it.
I'll stick with my Samsung.
I know you don't like Mac, whatever.
I don't like Apple.
Yeah, well,
I like Android.
How's the new Office?
Fuck if I know. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, you haven't been there yet? Oh.
We're on lockdown, dude. We don't go anywhere.
Oh, well,
COVID-19.
Last week you were going in.
Oh, I still go into work, but not to the office.
He's in production.
I'm in production.
Oh, well, there's no germs in there anyways.
That's why I go there.
It's safe.
Why don't you
It's
just
the
move
safest.
in?
It's the safest friggin' place. I've been trying to figure out if they
move a
how much of a fight I'd have with quality to get me to move in there.
Yeah, if a bed shows up there, it's probably not the cleanest place in the world.
We have a mysterious. We now have a mysterious stranger and a mysterious specimen in the chat room. Welcome.
Whoa.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the chat room, specimens.
I don't know if I'm behind.
Just leave
on
some
what you guys
pee
are
in the
talking
dish on your way out.
I don't know if I'm behind what you guys are talking about, but one of our local maritime producers laid off 400 workers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, but think about it. The majority of them would have been their trimmers because they have high quality hand trim cannabis, right? So you're gonna have a lot of trimmers for that. So that would be the majority of them.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, don't they have high quality hand trim cannabis there?
I shouldn't say.
It was more of a question than a comment.
I don't want to comment, but I've been there, so I'll just shut up.
And I've seen the tumbled buds, so I don't know where they've been, where they hid 400 employees.
And the number of Danish medical cannabis consumers plummet because of CanTrust.
Oh, why?
Because they
all right, because that's where they were getting it from. CanTrust had that deal in Holland for supplying medical cannabis.
And the COVID-19 crisis affects European GMP cannabis inspections in Canada.
Probably.
They do.
They can't travel over.
You can't be inspected.
Yeah, no, I'm just reading all the cannabis news for the last week, and labeling issues leads to MedRelief cannabis recall in Quebec.
What was the other one in Alberta that lost their license because they weren't properly destroying it?
Yeah, yes, but I don't know if that was more of a proper. I'd like to get more info on that story.
Me too, because
the way they destroy it correctly, that's not something they shut you down for. That's something they kind of like slap you on the wrist for and like smarten the fuck up. Something disappeared somewhere.
Right, and they claimed that it was destroyed, but they couldn't prove it was destroyed.
Exactly.
So probably closer to
maybe you're selling your cannabis out the back door and saying it's destroyed. And when the garbage man comes, picks it up, he's taking his cannabis.
That's why Health Canada shut them down, because if quantities of cannabis go missing, you just can't say you destroyed it.
Yeah.
We destroyed it. We just didn't document it correctly. Yeah, right.
Yeah. We destroyed it in a series of small fires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me. For the people listening, you have to have video recording of your destruction of your cannabis in the Canadian LP market.
Really?
So yes.
Oh yes.
Wow.
That's why I'm saying it just doesn't. You just do not document it.
So
it's documented, but it's also fucking videoed.
But there's no documentation or video on how to hide things in ceilings, though.
There should put it this way. There should be. There really should be no place in that building without a video.
And you shouldn't be able to hide anything in a ceiling, because you should make your ceiling so that you can't hide things in it.
Or even put partitions up that shouldn't be there.
Oh no, that was mirrors.
That was mirrors. Yeah.
So was it literally smoke and mirrors? Get it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's why I'm very suspicious on the one who got in trouble there last week. As like, not just again, if you didn't put enough. Whatever, if you didn't destroy it or grind it up well enough, you know what I mean? That's just like, all right, guys, you got to do better. Like, that's just a kind of a citation.
Right.
It's not shut you down.
Yeah, they got shut down, which means the
stuff is missing.
Had a diversion.
Or it's being investigated or caught diversion. Has to be.
Yeah.
Hey, and the Business Development Bank of Canada made it eligible for cannabis companies to seek emergency funding through the COVID-19 emergency fund.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope that will also lead to other bank institutions allowing cannabis businesses.
Yeah, but Darcy, here's the trick. The caveat a lot of this is you got to show 30% reduction in your revenues.
Yeah, well, but if you're a person that's not selling your product yet, well, then you can't show that you're losing money because you can't lose money that you're not making.
That's part of it too. But if a company was already doing shit for sales,
it's
still probably going to do shit for sales.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to be able to document or prove that your sales went down by 30%. Because
that would be that would all be right there in their books, though, if they were done properly.
It's correct that cannabis should be involved if that is the way the books really go. But if your sales already suck and they don't drop, and you have to have another 30% reduction to qualify for any of this. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you got shit sales now, what are you going to have if you don't sell anything? Shit sales.
I don't think it's really going to make a difference.
Nope. No, true enough.
But they should be eligible.
Yes.
If you were killing it and Ontario shut down all their stores and all of a sudden your sales went down, that's totally fair.
Another article that came out on Marijuana Biz Daily is Ontario approaches 900 cannabis retail operator license applications.
They what?
They reached 900 cannabis retail operator license applications. They approached 900.
Who did?
Ontario.
These are operating stores?
No, that's how many applications.
Oh.
It says Ontario cannabis regulators have received nearly 900 retail operating licenses applications for marijuana stores since it opened up the process to all comers, what it says, all comers on January 6th.
When we are open for business.
Yes. So that's crazy. That's 900 applications in there. Wow.
Big province.
Yeah.
Can a retailer make money in Ontario? I'm just
at 8%. I don't know. I've looked into it a little bit. I've considered it, but I don't know if there's 8% profit limit. Come on now.
Yeah, that's the thing is you've got that 8% cap.
Yeah,
you're not making more than 8% on anything you sell. Unless you can bring in other products such as vaporizers and stuff like that you might be able to get a double-digit margin, but even that's going to be unlikely.
You're not going to sell much of that because people are going to go to Amazon and shit and buy it themselves. And... Fuck, that's tight. Whew.
Not a feasible business unless you're prepared to run it yourself without any employees. Probably get away with that.
I just found out my sister made matzo ball soup last night. She didn't give me any. Sorry.
You made what?
Never mind.
No.
I'm just trying to think of the volume. Holy shit. 8% margin.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's tight.
I don't know if it's even worth the risk at that margin.
You would need a very, very small square footage, and like Marcel said, it's like you're mom and popping it.
Yeah.
Well, most of the stores in Toronto that I've gone by, I've not been into a legal store yet, but I've gone by a few. They're fucking massive.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
And yet there's one row of counters with a half a dozen people behind there and a row of people being funneled in and maybe a half a dozen strains. Not literally, but I know that a lot of these stores are massive stores, right?
I'm just thinking myself, I'd be trying to do about 600 square feet, to be honest. Like, I'm just, as a business owner myself, I'm like, fuck, it's tight.
Yeah.
I was looking at businesses for sale downtown, and you're looking at between $6,000 and $10,000 a month in a not so great area of the city for rent. It's craziness. Like the market, there are so many places vacant. You'd think that the market would be better. They'd want tenants in there, but nobody wants a cannabis business. No.
Well, I'll tell you where cannabis business will do well are actually your small little towns.
Yes.
That are ignored. Like,
yes.
Don't go downtown Toronto. You're fucking just asking for death.
That's right. So you buy a little building in a small town and you open up a little store and you'll kill it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if OCS is giving people like a little bit of like, they won't let someone go across the street from each other. Are they being a little bit of respectful to their license distribution?
I don't.
I was just reading an article on that, actually.
I don't believe they are. I think that there are areas where they don't want them, and they won't have them, and then other areas where they don't mind a few. I think that there's a footage distance that they have to be apart from each other, and schools and blah 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 blah.
No, that stuff I get, but like it'd be a shame if you open one up and all of a sudden they gave someone else a license across the street. You're basically fucking each other.
Yeah, but saying that, if you look at the restaurant industry, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, you'll find that they're in pockets together usually.
Oh no, but that's also companies that don't have a regulated margin, right?
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with competition, but really, let's be realistic. They're buying the same product from OCS, so you really can't offer a whole lot of anything differently, to my knowledge. So basically, it's the same. It's basically the same stores, same price. It's just that they like you better than the guy across the street.
But now, I correct me if I'm wrong, but now I understand that the stores, a legal store, can buy direct from the producer now. Right? They don't have to go.
Well, that might make a difference. That gives a little bit more opportunity.
But the kicker there is the producer has to sell it to the legal entity, and then they have to buy it back from the legal entity to sell it to their consumer markets. I know. Doesn't sound even worth it, does it?
No. What they should actually, the private retailers, they should be able to buy direct from just the LPs directly and have a little bit more margin.
They can, but in Ontario, you have to. They have to do it through the OCS.
Exactly, and I think that's the mistake Ontario is doing.
It's all going to work out in the wash, but how long is it going to take, and how many people are going to be affected? And I'm talking about the medical market. I'm not talking about the rec market. The rec market is going to flourish no matter what. But we've got to take care of the medical people too. If you want to take care of the medical people, get them actually in the pharmacies.
Uh-huh. Stop the online craziness. Because I'll tell you, fucking Shoppers and Costco's and Walmart pharmacies, and if they can actually sell cannabis in the pharmacies, they will get the fucking stock. Trust me.
Oh, of course they will, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. I would not be surprised that in a few years down the road, we're going to see kiosks in Loblaws, just like beside the wine kiosk. Right?
No, well, from the rec world, yes, but I'm talking medical. It should be right in the back of the pharmacy.
Well, yeah, guaranteed. Yep.
But that's how you ensure supply.
Yes,
that's how you ensure the pharmacy or the medical supply, because the pharmacies will be mandated to keep it for their prescriptions.
And that would work out very well, I think. Because
it would be better.
Anyone that I've had this conversation with, Lenny, has said, I'm not sure I want to go into a pharmacy to buy my pot.
Oh, I get that too, but if you want to ensure supply, that's how you do it.
I think that's where I wouldn't mind going, if it's covered under my insurance, if it's what I need, because what people don't get a lot of the times is that it really is patient and strain specific when it comes to the medical side of things. A pothead likes what a pothead likes. Oh, let's have some kush. But you know what? For my ADHD, I'd rather have some Northern Lights than some Bubble Kush.
But that's also where it's going to get that's where the competition, that's where it'll get a little bit better. It's like, you know what? Shoppers Drug Mart, they have a great selection. That's where the customers are going to bring their prescriptions. Oh, you know what? Shoppers has a shitty prescription. I'm going to go to whatever, Rexall or Guardian. That's why I think the pharmacies can actually do a good job. I get why a medical patient may not want to go to a pharmacy right now, because most pharmacists don't know shit about cannabis.
Oh, they would bring people in for that. Come on now.
I would hope.
No, they don't. They won't. Be the pharmacist. There's a couple little programs on there.
I was just going to ask. Are they offering you guys as pharmacists upgrades to your education on cannabis? I know.
There's little talks, but there's little steps. They're called CE events, but
I had a conversation a few years
back.
They're
weak.
While I was waiting for David, I can't remember why he was there, but he had to go to the hospital. I was talking with the head nurse, the admit nurse, and she was telling me that they are offering, in Ontario, they are offering courses on everything you need to know about cannabinoids and cannabis.
Yeah,
to the medical practicing family, nurses, doctors, whoever. Okay,
it's very basic. It's not as much as, but it's good
enough. They're not going. The older doctors aren't going, but some of the younger doctors are taking those courses as they're coming up.
Listen, they're going to tell them, oh, there's THC and there's CBD. That's all they're fucking telling them. And they'll tell them, eating's different and smoking's a little different. They're going to tell you, you really shouldn't eat. You really should never smoke it. They're not even going to differentiate between strains. They'll say a little bit, well, there's this sativa plant and there's this indica plant.
And then you got your ruderalis and,
they'll do a little bit of basic. Again, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But in their world, they don't really understand the individual experience one strain does to a different person. That's the fun part to me as a pharmacist, is like, all right, well, I guess fucking there's a strain Sour Jack. I fucking love it, but other people don't like it.
I'll have to try that. Is it an indica or a sativa?
I'm a sativa guy the whole way.
I like, you know what? I like my sativas because it lifts me out of my chronic depression.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for usually when I'm using it as well. But that's where I don't think the pharmacists have really grasped it, or the doctors. And I actually think it's fucking hilarious because Canadian pharmacists and doctors have the greatest opportunity that they haven't included into yet. It is the only, if they actually had them in their pharmacies, or I guess they go buy it at a liquor store, but I'm not allowed to go, as a pharmacist, I can't go try morphine. I can't go try fucking gabapentin. I can't articulate to the patient what I felt on it.
Why?
But cannabis,
you should be able to do that.
And it's dangerous. But
Why?
cannabis is pharmacy doctor, you're not allowed to sample the pills back there. It's illegal. But cannabis is a medication that I can actually go try legally myself and articulate and understand the experience that my patient is actually going through. Or I think that's fucking cool.
See, I understand that. My father was a psychiatrist. He was a pill doctor, or very old school. Behavior modification actually was his specialty.
Yeah.
And I was on Ritalin and Dexedrine very early, 5 till I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yet he would not even entertain trying cannabis 10 years into Parkinson's. So, even earlier than that, probably 5 years.
Well, but that was also the stigma. It was illegal and dangerous.
Yeah,
but
he did not want something, and his exact words was, I do not want to take something that controls my mind the way cannabis does. And that's from a physician. Okay?
He should go meet some of the opiate addicts then.
Well, he was a professor at U of T. You know, I mean, like he was, you know, at the top of his game, and yet he would not even. And that my first high school project, it might have even been before that, was about cannabis. My dad helped me with it. He got me all the information, helped me put it together, and all that. You know, but yet he wouldn't. He knew, he knows. We talked about the show all the time and the guests that I've had on, and he found it very interesting. But he wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but I think that's more because of the legal stigma back then. The legal stigma is going away, right?
Yeah,
I think it is.
I don't know because he's been gone since before it was legal, so I don't know.
Yeah,
right. But
I think that is the stigma. Like that's what it was.
But as a physician, you would think that he would know that as a medication, it is legal. I think it was more that he just didn't know what it would do to him. He'd never tried it, and didn't want to. My mom, on the other hand, we used to smoke it. We used to smoke it. We used to smell it in the house when we were kids. You know, so.
But no, but as I say, I just think pharmacists and doctors should be looking at cannabis as something really unique that they've never actually will have experienced before in their practice.
They can
legally go try the medication.
Yeah, it is the most diverse plant on the planet, basically. Right? Yeah. So. Yeah, she. How about we listen to another song?
Hey, that's a good idea.
Hey.
Hey, what?
I heard a hey. Somebody said hey. All right, we'll be right back.
What's the song?
It's the Oh Charlotte. Sorry, it's about Charlotte Figgy. Yep.
Cool.
I can't remember if I watched the video. It's on my wall. I don't know if it was done a while ago or since her passing, but it's a very interesting song because it's about her journey. So we'll listen to that, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the randomness that is 420radio.com. Sorry, that's 420radio.ca. Powered by ADHD and fueled by cannabis.
looks like.
So tonight, we're going to tell Charlotte's story. We're going to sing her song. Wherever you are, and we're trying to get. So tonight, we're going to tell Charlotte's story. We're going to sing her song.
Really? Really?
Today, they're successfully.
In that Charlotte's parents learned about cannabis.
And today, they're successfully treating Charlotte's seizures with cannabis oil.
Parents learned
that they were out of options. But her family is going to tell Charlotte's story. So tonight, we're going to tell Charlotte's story. We're going to sing her song. We're going to bring the barriers down. And we're trying to get the laws changed. So Charlotte, wherever you are, this one is for you.
Abby MC Flo is a huge inspiration to me. She brought rapping back into my life. If we weren't hanging out, there would have been no rapping on the new album. So thanks for that. She's
down, and we're trying to get the laws.
I feel things are changing. Bottle with a white top. Options. I'm here to say that.
So Charlotte, wherever you are, this one is for you.
I'm here to say that I feel things are changing, and I want the world to be better for Sky's generation. I want them to have more options. I don't think that all healing has to come in an orange bottle with a white top. I think that medicine can come from a lot of places, and one of those places is the garden.
You started out the way that babies do. Two parents were in love and they created you. Twin girls, they patiently awaited you. And on the day you were born, they celebrated you. Oh, Charlotte, you were such a blessing to the world. Pink cheeks, tiny toes, mom and dad's baby girl. Oh, Charlotte, they couldn't wait to see you grow. Your parents love you more than you will ever know. But at 3 months old, the seizures hit like an earthquake, twisting up your body, shaking you in the worst way. Doctors called it epilepsy, they called it Gervais. Every seizure stormed through your eyes like hurricanes. With every seizure, you were slipping away. Seizure numbers climbing up into the hundreds each day. Oh, Charlotte, your parents prayed and prayed, tried everything they could, but you were drifting away.
Oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, it's so beautiful to watch you grow. And now your parents, they were both singing, I won't give up. If they heard about a treatment, they were looking it up. Oh, Charlotte, they read every word until they read about a herb that would change in the world for the boys and girls who were just like you. This plant produced an oil with the power, but it's true that this flower had a history of being taboo. Still, your parents took a chance and they gave it to you.
Oh, Charlotte, even on that very first day, this plant kept the seizures and the pains at bay. Oh, Charlotte, you came back to life, and after years in the dark, there was finally light. But the plant was rare, hard to procure. Your parents found some brothers who will grow you some more. Oh, Charlotte, another birthday came. We planted a seed, we gave it your name.
Oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, it's so beautiful to watch you grow.
Now everybody's looking at Charlotte, steady growing each day, steady out there on your bike riding with Maxwell and Chase, already out there taking hikes with a smile on your face,
beaming on the school bus, pulling away. Oh, Charlotte,
the word is getting around about the power of the plant and the answers you found. Oh, Charlotte, we're gonna make you proud, we're gonna chant your name, break the barriers down. Come on.
Charlotte, Charlotte, sing it with us. Oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, it's so beautiful to watch you grow. One more time, let me hear you sing it, come on. Oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, oh, Charlotte, Charlotte, it's so beautiful to watch you grow.
Oh,
Hash. Let's all smoke some hash. This is the 420 radio show. Hiya, how are you?
Hiya, how are you?
Hiya,
Smoking
how are you?
hash.
Smoking hash. Smoking some hash, man. So,
yeah.
You know what time it is?
Darcy time.
It's Darcy's in the fridge time.
What? See, this sucks that you can see me now.
What you getting, Darcy? What Carly get earlier? I seen her in the fridge earlier too.
What were you getting out of the fridge earlier?
Tyler snack.
Oh, she was getting something for our son.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
guess what time it is? It's Darcy time.
Darcy's gonna take you over here to the charging station, because if not, Darcy's gonna talk and it's gonna go and freeze, and I'm not gonna be here anymore.
Excuse us.
Reach.
She got some gross stuff to talk about, buddy?
I'm gonna be honest, not really.
Oh.
But I can talk about whatever you want me to talk about, Al.
That's a good
Marcel,
way to pass the buck.
Lenny.
I think we interrupted Lenny.
No, I want you to talk about mold.
Mold.
The differences of the different types of molds.
White powdery mold? Black powdery mold.
No, white powdery mold isn't mold, it's mildew.
Oh.
It's mildew. It's not a mold. Okay. You got buds.
So there's a question. What's the difference between mold and mildew?
Huh? Come on now.
Well, mold is... Well, another one is good to ingest, just right off the hop. So if your product does end up like that, unless you really know what you're doing when you're making iso oil, I don't suggest you ever use your moldy product to use it for anything. So that's just my little disclaimer.
Will use moldy stuff for oil,
your oil's going to taste as bad as it smells.
Okay, so it doesn't remove the oil. It doesn't remove the terpenes, at least, anyways, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right, but you got to remember the mold. ISO is likely killing the mold. I don't know if butane kills mold. I don't know if hexane kills mold, and I don't know if propane kills mold. So a lot of your shatter products, and definitely don't use it for rosin, because you're
only cooking the mold.
Oh, buddy, you're gonna make it taste real nice and yummy. But,
yeah, I wouldn't think that I would want to use moldy weed for rosin. No.
But as far as bud rot goes, you got. There's two different types of bud rot. You got a black bud rot that happens from moisture settling on your buds. Outdoors, for indoors, it would be because your room is too humid. And there's a white mold. I shouldn't call it white. It's a gray mold, if I'm not mistaken, right, Marcel? It's gray mold. Great. Yeah, it's a gray mold. And it's bad too. But the gray mold, I found I can treat gray mold a lot easier than I can treat the black bud rot mold. Neither one is good to, like I said, neither one's good to consume. But to treat the gray mold, I use, there's home remedies. I'm sure if you go online, you'll in all them different cannabis forms, you'll read a million different home remedies how to treat bud rot. Use them all at your own discretion. Just because you see it and 2 other people had good luck with it, 100 people may not have. So just because them 2 did, don't mean it's good for you. So like I said, do your research on that. But there is ways to control it. way is to control it is give lots of airflow. If the plants are outdoors and you got big bushy plants, pick a lot of that broadleaf off, because you don't need it after like 4 weeks in the bud. You don't need a lot of that big broadleaf. And
so you can get rid of a lot of the mold issues and stuff like that from removing your leaf, right?
It's prevention. It's all prevention. But outdoors,
now is that because it gives more airflow, or because it takes away more surface space for mold to gather?
More airflow. Okay. The more air that flows, the plant stays drier, meaning it can't mold.
So I'm going to interject one little point here, though.
Yeah.
For what Darcy said, and it's an important point. If you're taking the leaves off of your plant because you want to create more airflow, you'd make sure that you snap that stalk of the leaf or the stem of the leaf off right at the base of the plant.
And don't throw them on the ground.
Right. If you leave a little stem there and just break the stalk off or the stem off, and you leave that little bit, that will mold. And it will be the start of the mold in your plants.
So you want to break it right off at the connection point, so to speak.
Yes. Yep. Snap them. And don't throw all that leaf on the ground below your plants. That is stupid. You're just creating mold to grow on the ground, which can create.
Yeah, as much nitrogen as you think you're going to be putting into the ground there, it's not worth it.
Get rid of it. Take it if you're in an area and an undisclosed area and you don't want anyone to know that you're growing in there and you have cameras and everything all set up and you're trying to protect your crop, take them out with you. Even if it's taking it out of the woods 500 or 600 yards away from your patch and lifting up a pile of moss and stuffing them underneath the moss. That's what I do. I lift the moss up, stuff them underneath, and push the moss back down, and you can't even tell that the moss was disturbed. So
they're girly grow tech.
yeah. That way, you're hiding your leaves. They're not an issue for you anymore because they're away from your patch and not causing mold, and you're not carrying them on you. So on the way of the woods, you get caught with them. Like I say, just take them a little piece away from you, lift the mold up, lift some moss up because there's usually lots of moss around, and stuff them underneath there and pat it back down and continue on your travels with your fishing pole in your hand.
Fishing? Somebody's going fishing?
Well, that's when you go check your plants.
Yeah, you're going fishing.
This won't be any outdoor grows this year.
No. Well, backyards, I guess, and then they'll likely lift all this curfew just as everything's coming to harvest, so the thieves can run rampant again. But so those are the two types of mold, and then you got powdery mildew. Powdery mildew, it blows around in the air. It forms on many different plants. You have many different varieties of powdery mildew. There's only a few that affect cannabis. So the ones that affect your tomato plants or your pumpkin plants won't affect your cannabis plants. Or at least it didn't for me, because I had some pumpkins that were growing in my garden, and I had 2 plants that were growing just right beside all them pumpkins, and them plants never had a bit of powdery mildew on them, but the pumpkins did. Now, mind you, I bought some stuff at the garden center to spray on the leaves of the pumpkins, some sulfur stuff to kill try to kill that, but it still never spread over to my cannabis. So, but there is different varieties. So, just make sure you know what you're dealing with, I guess.
Regardless, if you see powdery mildew,
get rid of it.
Get rid of it. If you see mold on the plant, get rid of it because it's just going to spread.
Now,
and when you get rid of mold, do it gently.
Yes, and don't just try to pick that mold spot out. If that mold spot's there and it's on your top cola, try to cut that cluster of bud out of your top cola. Don't just try to pick it out, because 9 times out of 10 you're not getting it all. Cut that whole bud right out of that section and take the bud right out to make sure you're removing all of that mildew.
Will it transfer, like if you bump it and it knocks off and falls on a leaf?
Well,
if the spores fly.
Okay.
Spores, right?
Yeah.
When it's wet, like if it's raining out and you see mold and it's wet, it's not gonna spread as easy as if you go outside the next day and it's cloudy, but it's not sunny, but it's dry. It dried up.
Yeah.
And that mold is dry now. You go try to crush
you bump
that mold.
it's gonna, yeah.
Spores are going to spread. So, like I say, cut that whole bud out is the easiest way to do it. And
you
gingerly.
And you should do that when it's damp.
Either or. I mean, mold is mold. You want to get it out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Ideally,
you don't want
to see it.
You don't want to leave it there. You don't want to leave it there when it's wet, and then overnight it starts drying up, and then now the wind's blowing, and now it's spreading it throughout the rest of your plant, right?
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
once you see it, get rid of it, right?
Yeah. Mold's nasty,
But
man.
It is, and if you miss some and you take it in your house and you dry it and you put it in your jar, and yes, it didn't spread in your jar through the rest of your bud. Thank God, because I don't know how that didn't happen, but it didn't because it was good and dry. And then now all of a sudden you're rolling your joint and you come across it. Don't smoke it. Throw it away. Don't say, "Oh, it's just a little piece. I'll smoke that. It won't hurt me."
Yeah,
no, mold
it's
is
just
good.
one. But that
mold
could
is
start
good
an
mold.
inflammation in your lungs really quickly, though.
Oh,
Very much
lung
so.
infections, lung and throat infections aren't fun.
No, I've had some
mold is
shitty
a bigger
weed
deal
and,
than people realize.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Mold in general in the world's people's health, besides cannabis,
Yeah.
it's really underdiagnosed, and it's probably half of everybody's inflammation problems anyway.
Yeah.
It's
I'm having a hell of a time with my allergies right now. It's driving
Well,
me
see,
nuts.
I always have to wipe down the house that I'm running doesn't have an osculating fan or an exhaust fan to suck all of the steam out of the bathroom when you have a shower.
So you have to wipe everything down. Yeah.
If you don't open the window, the bathroom builds up with steam and then it sticks to the walls and then that molds. Well, I had a bunch of black mildew up there, and I got to wipe it down once a week now because it just keeps growing back. And well, the landlord's solution was to just paint over it. But once I was doing my research, and
you can't paint over black.
You can't. You got to remove that.
Spray bleach on it; it'll kill it.
Spray 9, but like I said, it keeps growing back. The way to get rid of it, the proper way, is to put an exhaust fan in there, and you have to remove the drywall.
Yeah,
it has to be removed. Yeah. So it's a big expense for her right now, that whole big 5x7 bathroom. But anyways,
paint over.
Yeah, paint over. No, seriously, that's what most people.
I used to paint apartments for a friend of mine who had several, and he would say, wash it down with bleach. When it dries, paint it right over it. You'll never see it again. And you know what? Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, but don't forget, it may, like, you're talking drywall, and you're only seeing the side that faces your wall.
Yep.
It may be going on the other side of the drywall.
Of course. Yep.
Yeah, like that.
Just because the paint's not a barrier, right?
Nope.
So,
but I'll laugh as a pharmacist. I see people. Oh, I get sinus infections all the time, and they grow on antibiotics all the time. I guarantee you, it's mold. It's not fucking bacteria up there.
Yep.
Mind you, most doctors don't realize that, but I'm telling you, it's not fucking bacteria.
And this is why pharmacists are so important, Lenny. Because
no, most pharmacists don't clue into that either, actually.
Okay. I was trying to give you a compliment, you dork.
No.
Like he said, most though.
No. Mold and bacteria, fungus, it gets in there. It gets in the brain. It gets in your sinuses, your lungs. It's not good things. Your GI tract.
Yeah.
It's an invasive species.
Yep, and it's not good. It needs a host to live, and I guess we're the host.
I'm not saying it necessarily always kills you, but it creates inflammation.
Oh, I guarantee it's causing long-term health effects down the road, Lenny. You can't tell me it's not, right? Like your long-term exposure. Like I was saying to Marcel the other day, when I was 16 years old, I was exposed to what I thought was asbestos. They told me it was vermiculite vermiculite insulation, but still, whether it's vermiculite insulation or asbestos, neither one's good for your respiratory tract.
Growing up in the 60s, I guarantee you I sat in classrooms that had asbestos.
Yeah, like
So,
like that. Regardless, that's not good for you, and I was 16 when that happened.
I guarantee you that I've lived in a house that had asbestos. Most. I guarantee you. I shouldn't say I guarantee you, but this building here that I'm in is 50 years old, and unless you open up the wall, you wouldn't know what's in there.
No, and that's the thing is they say as long as you don't disturb it.
Yep. It stays in its little nest.
Yep. But once you start, people buy that building, start doing renovations.
Yep.
Now they disturbed it, got dust in the air, and now you got long-term health effects.
My apartment, my windows are open in my bedroom and my apartment year round, and I also live on the LTR line, the Eglinton line, and there's construction, and it's constant. And there's like a constant flow of dust coming in my windows. It's fucking ridiculous how much dust is coming in from the construction zone.
You need to buy yourself a Genano 3000 now.
Sure. How much are they?
About $7,000.
Sure, I'll get right on that, Darcy.
You just said it was a 3000.
No, that's the unit. The 3000. Yeah, but Genano, Marcel.
If they're going to charge 7,000, they may as well call it the Genano 7,000. Come on
now.
Genano 10,000 is it can cost you up to $100,000 because it connects right on to your main air circulation unit in your house.
Dude, I have water rads in this apartment. So
those are nice.
Well, they're all right. I wish they didn't have them. Any of them. I don't like heat at all. There's enough heat radiating from the other apartments. I don't need any. Thank you.
So can you control your heat?
Nope.
Oh.
No, the valves are all painted shut, and trying to get. Anyways, I don't want to dump on my super. They're actually really good, but nope. I have a fan blowing under my desk. It keeps my junk nice and cool.
Oh, that's funny, Al.
Yeah. So, what are you making now, Darcy?
Me? Nothing. I'm just doing dishes.
Oh. So what else we got to? Anything going on out there this week on the online front that is cannabis related? Do you know?
Yeah, I found out that I was just bored there earlier, so I said I'm going to see what the price of online cannabis is. I'll check a couple of the websites I used to deal with. 5 of the 6 websites I dealt with got shut down.
Yes, a lot of the online sites they're going.
Like I was like, holy crap, that one's gone. That one's gone too.
If you look at it, it's very systematic.
But you know which ones they were, Al?
Which?
It wasn't the expensive. Like there's ones on there that are expensive, like the weed's expensive, and then there's ones on there that got $2 weed.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are shut down because those are the ones that are getting most of the traffic.
Yeah.
Right? All the $2 weed sites are shutting down, man. Fair Canacare is still up. But.
They just open up 2 days later on another LP or on another URL. So there's no way. I had a conversation with, I won't say who. I had a conversation with a dispensary owner about a week after they were raided, and he looked at me with a smile on his face. And he said, they came in here, they took $35,000 worth of weed, and I was open with $40,000 worth of weed the next morning. Like, it's just a never-ending flow. I don't know. I mean, reopening up the stores in Ontario was probably a very smart thing because a lot of people were about to go fucking bankrupt if they didn't.
Yeah, and I was reading an article, and I won't say where, but I was reading an article, and it was talking about that and how the government of Canada secretly is talking about trying to shut down the homegrown medical system because, or at least to these big licenses and capping it now because of these big licenses, because this is what's feeding this underground market. So they think that's how it's being fed.
Yes, but that's say one thing, do another though. That's bullshit. You know, you
I know it is.
That's you can't say yes to one and no to another. What's a micro license now? 200 plants, or is that a mini micro?
It's canopy size.
What's that?
Canopy size.
It's 2,000 square.
2,150 square feet of canopy, I believe.
Yeah,
but there's no limit on how much weight you can grow in that space.
No, so it's by size. It's not by plants.
That's correct.
Okay, so what's this micro mini thing that is going to allow MMAR and ACMPR growers to introduce themselves into that legal market? What's that?
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
Supposedly a minimum of 200 plants or something, or a maximum of 200 plants or something like that.
No, that's the micros.
That's the micro.
Okay. That's the micros.
But most home growers aren't going to turn around and become a micro, because especially if they've been selling on the black market.
Yes.
And it's simple math. It's going to cost $1 million to build your micro facility to meet specifications for Health Canada.
Even at a micro level.
That is at the micro level. To be at an LP level, you're going to kick the crap out of $20 million.
Yeah. Easy.
Right? If you want to do it right. Easy. If you want to do it right.
And even $1 million, even at $1 million, I don't even know if you're setting up your micro properly.
No, probably not. I mean, you could always do better.
Security's going to cost you half of that.
And they've dropped a lot of the stuff that you need for the micro, right?
Oh yeah, that's why it's down to $1 million instead of 20 million.
But here's the thing: you have to have that all built, all outfitted, all ready, set in your evidence package before they'll even or get your evidence package ready before they'll even consider looking at you for that micro.
You have to get that money out first.
Oh yeah,
you've got to build the facility, and then you could be denied.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's a big risk, and
we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen. So
who's gonna back something? Who's gonna take that risk and back something like that?
Oh, I hear you.
Right? I mean, yes, there's people out there, but those are those people out there with those and I'm going to say those high interest loans that here, I'll give you this money for 40% of your company. Well, if you're a small person, if you're a small guy, to you, that kind of looks a little tempting, even though you know it's fucking crazy, ludicrous, but that looks tempting because you ain't got that $1 million.
Yeah,
so
I don't see how your normal everyday Joe is supposed to make money in the legal market.
They're not.
They weren't supposed to,
which is bullshit.
But they had to make it look like they tried. Right?
It's
all about
because if I can go down the road tomorrow, rent 1,000 square feet, put a microbrewery in there, and sell beer out of it. Why can't I do that with fucking cannabis? They're both legal.
Yeah.
Oh, but one is dangerous and causes addiction and long-term health
and it ain't alcohol.
Problems. Well, no, but no long-term money in alcohol. Or I mean in cannabis. If it's just going to make everybody healthy.
There's two things. Honestly, the biggest issue is they can't get past the smoking aspect of it. They just like the microbes and toxins. I'm sure fucking cigarettes don't go through the same fucking ordeal as cannabis does. And alcohol, the beauty of it is ethanol and it is fucking oral. So it is what it is, but it's the lung thing. They can't get past that fucking microbial aspect of that.
But okay, when you come down to that, though, that's the buyer's choice, the user's choice on how they medicate with it or how they use it recreational. That's my choice. If I want to sit here and use 1,000-degree heat pen and dab all fucking day, that's my fucking business. If I want to sit here and smoke gaggers all fucking day, well, I'm going to light this one now.
But Health Canada, and that's why people are allowed to grow your own, and whatever you do with your own, that's your own fucking business. But Health Canada has a mandate for public safety, and somewhere in someone's head, it's got to be so crispy fucking clean it has to meet Health Canada's mandate. So if it's a Health Canada regulated product, they're going to the extreme of clean. That's the difference, right?
So
that's why a lot of LPs are radiating it, right? Just to pass Health Canada's test.
Is that a something that they require you to do? You have to irradiate?
No, you just have to pass the test.
You just have to prove that your cannabis is clean.
But a lot of them can't do it, so they radiate it.
It's got to pass microbial testing.
And it's pretty
and
tight.
Aflatoxins and everything else.
And one way to do that is by irradiating it.
Yeah.
Huh. Do many of the LPs not irradiate?
Most do, I think. Not all.
Most do, even our food is irradiated, right?
Yeah.
I'll answer Lenny's thing there because most do, Al, but they'll list it on their website. Irradiated product, not this product was not irradiated. This product was radiated. This one was not irradiated.
So some will have both.
Yes.
Some have both. So here's what happens: you grow a big batch, and everything looks great. Before you can do anything with it, a test has to be done. So it's sent to the lab. You need your cannabinoid levels, you need your aflatoxins, you need heavy metals, you need pesticides, fungicides, you need everything, all microbial activity. So you pay for everything, like $1,500 just to find out. If it comes back and it's got microbial levels that are too high to pass, then you irradiate it. And then you test it again.
And it passes.
And then it passes. And then it's sold. So it can be sold as irradiated, and it just means that it didn't pass the initial test.
What is involved in irradiating?
It's hit with gamma radiation. It's the same as what they do for spinach.
Well, I was going to say, they do that for vegetables and stuff too, don't they? And other foods.
Yep.
They'll even do it for like healthcare products.
Is it the same thing as... Is it the same thing as these UV lights that they use to kill germs? Is it the same kind of thing?
Same concept.
Same idea, but way more powerful.
UV only does the outside, right?
Is there any truth to these new lights that they're saying that if you put them up in your home, it'll kill the germs?
Yes,
I don't know. I haven't seen them.
They're just
actually,
UV
Marcel, those are some of the things that I was showing you that day in the office.
Oh yeah.
You may not have been paying attention that day because you were busy, but I know what Al's talking about. Though you can buy them. There's different.
They have them a big light that you can put up on your wall, or they have these wands, and you just go over everything, and it for a few seconds, and it kills all the germs on the bottom of your feet and all that. On your shoes.
Okay, so that would be a UV light.
Yes.
All right, so it's using UV radiation, which is only going onto the surface.
But is it something that would be warranted to use as a protection against COVID?
No.
No evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are stories coming up now saying that if you install a UV light, and when you come in, take a wand on your shoes and on your hands and your jackets and all your furs and blah, 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 and it kills the germs, you don't have to worry so much.
I would be more concerned about how much UV you're exposing yourself to.
Your skin, yeah.
Than anything else.
Okay.
That's just someone trying to take advantage of the fucking situation.
It's just another gimmick. Right?
Well, it's somebody that's selling a UV light, obviously.
Yeah.
And on that note, guess what time it is?
It's... I was going to say go smoke more hash time, but I could do that anytime.
No, it's time to go upstairs to my sister's and get some matzo ball soup.
Did you say matzo ball, like mozzarella cheese?
No, matzo balls. Matzo is
it's like
unleavened bread.
A doughboy.
It's an
soaking in
unleavened
juice.
It's an unleavened bread, is what it is.
Now, I hope this don't come out the wrong way, but is that like a Jewish thing?
Yes, it's something that it's matzo ball soup is usually in a chicken broth or a consomme or something like that, and they're big, huge things.
Huh.
Hey, Darcy?
It's
Darcy?
a broken up matzah that they make into and it makes a ball. It's kind of about the size of a cheese ball.
Okay.
Is it the same as a dumpling?
Yeah,
yes,
it is a dumpling.
But it's like a grittier dumpling, though, isn't it? Like a more textured dumpling.
It's gummy. You boil it. So yeah, it's a dumpling. It's more of there's no casing on it. So you make a ball, you throw it into the water, and it makes a dumpling, but there's no case on it. There's no dough. It is dough. I don't know.
It's just a glove of.
I want to go and eat some now. Can we say goodnight?
Now I want to fucking dumpling.
Hey, Lenny, guess what I made today?
My suckers?
No.
Somebody's waiting for something.
Caramel balls.
No, even better.
Ice cream.
No.
Fuck.
Bailey's Irish Cream Truffles.
Ooh.
Infused?
Of course.
You got Lenny. You can go all over them if you want because I'm not a big
Lenny's
Bailey's
coming
Irish cream
over
fan.
in a little bit there, Marcel.
For anyone who knows, I fucking love Bailey's.
Yeah, so do I, and I'm going to go and test them, see how they turned out. Because I won't know until they cool.
Say goodnight.
Say goodnight.
Say goodnight.
So what are you doing? Nothing. Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.